beast! Ah!
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Not the Bees, the Nicolas Cage filmography podcast. I am Megs.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And this week we watched 2021's Pig. It's an hour and 32 minutes long. It's directed by Michael Sarnowski. It's got 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it stars Nicolas Cage and Alex Wolff. And what is...
Adam Arkin.
Oh gosh. Adam Arkin. I knew it was Adam. I could not remember the last name. And this movie is, like I said, it's only an hour and 32 minutes long. Robin, or Rob Feld, is a reclusive truffle forager who was once a renowned Portland chef. Living in a cabin deep in the Oregon forest, he hunts for truffles with the help of his prized foraging pig. Rob sells the truffles exclusively to Amir, who is played by Alex Wolff, who is a young, inexperienced supplier of luxury ingredients to high-end restaurants. One night, Rob is brutally attacked by unidentified assailants and they steal his pig. He contacts Amir, who helps him locate a pair of bedraggled drug addicts suspected by another local truffle hunter. They claim that the pig was taken by them, but it was taken to Portland. After his old friend Edgar refuses to help, Rob leads Amir to an underground fighting ring for restaurant people below the defunct Portland Hotel, saying certain names carry cachet. Rob identifies himself to the crowd, then allows himself to be beaten to a pulp by a waiter in exchange for Edgar's information. Shocked to learn his identity, the following morning, Amir reveals to Rob that his parents had such a miserable marriage that the only time he ever remembers seeing them happy is a night when they had dinner at Rob's restaurant before his mother committed suicide. Rob asks Amir to secure reservations at Eurydice, a trendy restaurant Amir's father does business with. Rob visits the house he used to live in with his wife, Lori, whose death compelled Rob to withdraw into the woods in the first place. He sits with a young boy who now lives there and explains what persimmons are when the boy asks after Rob notices that his persimmon tree is gone. At Eurydice, Rob asks to meet with its head chef, Derek, a former prep cook at Rob's restaurant. Rob pointedly yet emphatically criticizes Derek for opening this contemporary restaurant rather than the pub that he's always dreamed of. Overwhelmed by the memory of his dream and the reality of his current circumstances, Derek ends up confessing that Amir's wealthy father, Darius, played by Adam Arkin, was behind the theft of Rob's pig, having learned of its existence from Amir. Rob angrily ends his partnership with Amir before going to confront Darius at his home. Darius offers Rob $25,000 in exchange for the pig and threatens to kill it if Rob continues his pursuit. Rob leaves, finding Amir waiting outside, having just left his comatose mother in a care facility, revealing that she is actually still alive. Rob admits he does not need his pig to hunt truffles because the trees tell him where they are. He wants to find her simply because he loves her. He then gives Amir a list of items and tells him to use Rob's name to obtain them. Rob visits his former baker for a salted baguette and a few pastries that he shares with Amir before they go back to Darius's house. Rob guides Amir as they prepare the exact same meal for Darius that Rob served to him and his wife, including a rare wine from Rob's personal collection, which Amir had obtained earlier in the day from the woman caring for the mausoleum containing Lori's ashes. All three men sit down to eat together despite Darius's resistance. An emotional Darius leaves the table after just a few tastes, and when Rob follows and confronts him, Darius asks why he is doing this, and Rob says he remembers every meal he ever cooked and every person he ever served. Darius tearfully confesses that the junkies that he hired to steal the pig manhandled her, resulting in her death. Rob collapses in tears, and a remorseful Amir drives him back to a diner near Rob's home in the forest. Despite Amir's foolishness, Rob says he will see him next Thursday and then he'll walk home. Amir, emotionally wrung out with nowhere to go, curls up into the front seat of his sports car to sleep. Returning to his forest, Rob washes his bloody face in the lake before returning to his cabin to play a tape Lori recorded of herself singing Bruce Springsteen's I'm on Fire for him for his birthday as he lays down to go to sleep. The end. Elizabeth?
Yes, Megs.
What did you think of this movie?
This movie is gorgeous. This movie is haunting and beautiful, and it is slow and methodical, and so much of it is exposition through insinuation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Derek never comes out and says, Darius took your pig. It
Nope.
is implied. And then in the next scene, you see that they have gotten the message and they are going to go after Darius. So, like, it is never stated that he is cooking the same dish that they had on that one happy night at his restaurant. But you know it. That's what that is. Like, it is. This movie is told so well that I can't believe I haven't seen anything else that this man has written and directed. Which I'm going to go look up right now.
So this movie was shot in a very short time frame. They did not have a lot of money, and they were doing it on live streets. So I think when I read it, I think it said like 21 days was the time that it took to shoot. Despite all of that, despite the lack of budget, it is shot very clear, very clean, and it is a beautiful story. It's very Greek tragedy. Like it's
Yes.
so very Greek tragedy to me. It moves like one, and I was obsessed with Greek mythology when I was in middle school. So the entire time I'm watching this, the Greek themes were incredibly obvious to me. Probably the most obvious is going to be the restaurant Eurydice. It was the wife of Orpheus, and when she died, he went into the underworld to try to get her back, and then she turned to stone because he turned around and looked at her. So much of this movie is just about the flow of grief and how it's processed, and you're right, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous is the correct word for it. This movie is gorgeous, but I think this movie just in general is very, very much about loss and grief and what it looks like to go through grief and what it looks like to maybe try to heal from it at the same time. The weight of the grief is, I mean, it's almost physical in this movie.
It is. He looks puffy. He looks old. We've seen him with a beard before, but this is gray.
Yeah.
This is weathered, and he looks beaten, and he moves like a man who has lived in the forest for a really long time.
After having lost everything.
Yeah.
So this movie is very heavy. It's very tangibly heavy. Like it feels physical in the room with you. It's very physical on the screen. But it's such a beautifully sort of subdued image of what it is to be in the throes of deep, unending grief.
Yeah. I agree. This movie is sitting heavy in my heart. It is beautiful, but it is sad.
For sure.
It is very sad.
Yeah, this is definitely a movie that you have to be in the mood to be in your feelings about it.
There's one directorial moment that stands out to me, and that is that when Darius says, when he confesses the truth and says that the junkies that he hired didn't treat the pig right and the pig died, and Rob just falls to the floor, just crumples, and there is no sound. The sound in the soundtrack is gone. There is no music. Mm-hmm. There is no ambient noise. You do not hear Rob crying. You just see it and you feel it.
Yeah.
Really, really beautiful. Really well done. What would you rate this film, Megan?
I'm gonna give this movie an A++.
Yeah, I agree.
That's how I feel.
What would we give the caginess of it?
I think the same thing.
I think this is such a quiet and subdued performance from him. This is quite a departure from almost everything else we've seen of his.
Yeah. It is. And like the violence in it even is very understated.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, like even when he's attacked, like he's hit very hard with like a cast iron skillet or something in his house when they take the pig. And then later he does allow himself to get beat up in this sort of like Fight Club-esque
Oh my god.
club in the basement.
The restaurant Fight Club had me laughing. That was hilarious.
I was dying laughing. That was really good. Yeah, but like those are the only real instances of violence other than just, being alive being inherently a violent situation. I also really loved the scene in the restaurant with Chef Derek Finway and the dialogue between them about Derek wanting to have his own pub and the light coming from the glass behind him, the interaction between them, the context, and the facial expressions from both of them felt like an actual epiphany. It was so well directed. It was so it almost felt ethereal, that conversation.
I really feel like if this movie had more money to put into an advertising budget, that Nick Cage would have gotten another Oscar nomination. Like, he deserved one.
Oh, absolutely. And I really love, because most people that, I've talked to about this movie, because I'd seen it before, it's called Pig, but, it's not even about the pig. She's just the catalyst for this story to unfold. There's less than 10 minutes of screen time with her. She's a cute little pig. I'm not gonna lie. She is a cute fucking little pig. With her little oink oink oinks. She's very, very cute. Very, very charming. But it's kind of like a John Wick situation. You get drawn in because the puppy dies.
Right.
Sorry if spoilers. But, yeah, she's just the catalyst. She's just the word given to this trek of grief that this man is going on.
Yeah.
And I agree with you that had the budget been bigger, maybe they could have done more, or at least as far as budget, marketing and stuff like that, because more people should honestly see this movie. It has 97% on the tomato meter. And I think it's 83 or 84% on the audience score. People should see this movie. So I think this is an A++ for a film. This is also an A++ for Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I agree.
It's probably his most true performance.
At least since leaving Las Vegas.
At least since leaving Las Vegas. But it felt so genuine, and it heartbreaking, but at the same time, incredibly hopeful. I don't want people to, be under the impression that this movie is, a downer. It is a downer, but, there's a lot of hope that comes with grief, and that's there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna wrap it for us this week, guys. So, again, just like every week, you can find us on all of your regular podcast apps. We're also on YouTube at Not the Beast Pod. We are still, of course, on our socials on Instagram at Not the Beast Pod. And if you are feeling generous and want to support us in this venture in any possible way, you can find us over on patreon.com/notthebees. But that is going to do it for us this week. I've been Megs.
I've been Elizabeth.
And we'll see you next time.